if a vegan made that statement, there'd be uproar, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
In our last mukbang response video, one of the people we spoke about was KADY McDERMOTT. And today's video is a response to the response. You gotta love the follow-up.
You do. And we've been called out by
Yes.
some of KADY's fans in the YouTube comments and via some tweets. And we're ready to admit when we were wrong.
Absolutely. So the first thing we got wrong was we mispronounced her name. We were saying
KADY.
and it's KADY.
So KADY and KADY's fans, we apologise for mispronouncing
Yeah.
KADY's name.
We're not from the UK. We have never seen her name
No.
spelt like that. And we actually didn't know of her until we made the video the other day. So we hadn't heard it being pronounced. So there you go. It's KADY.
Apologies. The second thing we were called out for is that the incident with a lady biting the tail of a dog on public transport, we said was in the UK. It turns out that story was actually from Canada.
Yeah, and the reason we said the UK was because when we followed the link that KADY retweeted, it took us to the Daily Mail, which is a UK-based publication. So we had just made the connection in our mind, Daily Mail, UK, and that's why we said UK instead of Canada. So correction.
Correction, and we apologise for those two errors.
Yes.
Having said that, it's kind of beside the point.
Yeah, very much beside the point, because the point of the video was talking about hypocrisy, basically. People saying they can love animals and still eat animals.
So we received a number of comments and tweets, and reading through them, it was pretty obvious that people either hadn't watched our video in full or they had selective hearing.
Yeah, because we clearly were not bullying or bitching about...
Or slating.
Yeah, about KADY. So it was, if you actually go back and watch it, we won't repeat the whole thing of what we said and everything. We'll link that video down below. I think it was about at the 15-minute mark. You can hear the full story of what was going on. But it was a very calm response. We're just having a conversation.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're also accused of judging.
Yeah.
Now, I guess for one, you guys who are accusing us of judging.
Are you judging us?
Are you judging us?
Judging us for judging? Judging is normal. Judging is what
is.
human beings do. Everybody judges. That's totally fine. We were also judging ourselves.
Yeah.
We said in that previous video, we used to be hypocrites.
Yeah, we were. We'd go to the zoo and love to admire certain animals whilst eating other animals.
Yeah, so we were complete hypocrites,
Yeah.
right? Now, what's interesting is that KADY was very much judging this woman on the train who was hitting and biting her dog. And so let's have another look at her tweet and go through this.
So KADY says, sick want to slap her.
So she wants to step in and take physical violence, which we totally understand, because when you see an animal being harmed, you do want to step in, you want to stop that violence. So,
Which makes you think, if we were really omnivores, we wouldn't have that compassion, would we?
no, not really. Why would you be concerned?
Exactly.
It'd be food,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not.
People like this should not be on the earth.
That's really strong, isn't it?
Very.
So what she's saying there is anyone who hurts animals should not be on the earth, which would be like 99% of the population, because if you're still eating meat, dairy and eggs, you are hurting animals.
Yes, and can we just say that if a vegan made that statement, there'd be uproar, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Whereas, KADY can make it because she's protecting a dog, which is a species of animal that's favoured in Western countries.
That's right.
And so she's only going to get support for that. But if a vegan says, people who eat cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, and so on, these people should not be on earth. Wow, all hell would break loose, wouldn't it?
But because I don't think that she makes the connection, well, it's clear that she doesn't, between hurting animals and eating animals. The reality is, if you're eating animals, you're hurting them. There's no other way for them to get on your plate. Okay, they're going to have a bolt gun smashed through their skull, they're going to be hung upside down by the ankle, and they're going to have their throat slit, and they're going to bleed out, so they end up on your plate. That's the only way it happens, and that hurts them.
Her next line makes me so angry.
It should. It should make you angry. This is good. She'd make a good activist.
Yeah, she would, yeah.
We want that anger.
Yeah, as we always say, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world.
Exactly. So she's
so
paying
much
attention.
injustice.
Here, how can people harm defenseless animals? And that was the whole point of our video and the comments that were left under her original tweet. How can people harm defenseless animals? Again, that's exactly what happens when we eat them. So she's not making the connection, but we're actually saying the same thing. We're agreeing.
So yes, this is a perfect example of how everybody, including Kady, judges others. And in her judgment, Kady was actually slating this woman, whereas in our judgment of Kady, we didn't slate her.
No.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah. So some people were saying we're using Kady's name for views. Yes, we are. 100%. Tick, you're correct. We always have used celebrity names in our videos, and we will continue to do that because that's what gets people to the vegan conversation.
Yeah, because nobody wants to talk about it if it's not about a celebrity, you know. Yeah.
Or rarely.
Or rarely,
Yeah.
And people with, who are social media influencers with large platforms, they have great power, and with that great power comes great responsibility. So we're trying to hold people like Kady accountable because she's a very influential person.
Yeah. And the other thing is, we want to bring the conversation to people. We want to be proactive. We're not going to sit back and wait for people to maybe someday kind of almost start thinking about veganism and they might come across our channel. No, we want to take the conversation to them proactively so that seeds are planted, they've heard the message, and they're going to do whatever they want to do from that point. But you can't unknow the truth.
That's right. We love this tweet. You have a very sad life sitting there eating veg, chatting about others.
We totally agree. We agree. Look, it is sad that we have to sit here and make these videos defending innocent baby animals that are being slaughtered needlessly. We wish that we didn't have to make these, but if people are continuing to eat meat, dairy and eggs, then we have to talk about it.
And we totally understand how Kady's fans have got upset. We receive these kind of comments all the time. It's natural when somebody, hears that they can't love animals and still eat them too, Hearing that truth, it does make people upset because it creates cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, and what we often find is that people will get quite
annoyed,
heated over these kind of response videos, and they won't like us and they leave a comment, but then they end up watching a little bit more, they start thinking more, they start educating themselves. And so many of them end up going vegan and coming back and thanking us. In fact, we got a message just this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, from a viewer who had watched our response video to Sarah's Day.
Yeah.
And she said, initially I was so annoyed with you guys.
You're so annoying. But now she's vegan.
She is, yeah. She did more research and...
it happens all the time. Yeah. And in fact, it got us thinking about a video we made last year responding to Zoella and Tanya Burr. They're also from the UK. And Zoella and Tanya Burr are another great example of celebrities who love animals. They love their pets, their dogs, and I think she had a hamster.
Yeah.
I think. But they're still eating animals. Now, the response video we made to them, they were eating sausages, and that video is age restricted because we showed how that animal ends up as our food, right? Now, it says a lot, doesn't it? If there's nothing wrong with eating animals, then what's wrong with seeing how the animals end up on our plate? Just like Kady was saying, don't make me feel bad or don't try and make me feel guilty for eating animals. Well, if there's nothing wrong with eating animals, no one can make you feel bad or guilty.
And as Gary Yourofsky says in his best speech you'll ever hear, which actually turned us vegan,
if it's not good enough for your eyes, then why is it good enough for your stomach?
I think one fan in particular had come in to,
defend Zoella, yeah.
And then she saw, wow, hang on a second, there's nothing really to defend here. I've just been exposed to the truth. Yeah. And she ended up going vegan as well and started
made this video, this channel.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
One of the reasons that many people believe that they can love animals whilst continuing to eat others is because they believe that the treatment of the animals in the country in which they live is different to the treatment of animals elsewhere in the world, particularly in America, for example. Yeah,
they think that the animal products that I purchase are from a good farm where they take care of their animals, they love their animals, and therefore it's okay for me to eat them. They're not from those bad factory farms that happen over there, somewhere very distant.
Yeah, and a lot of people from the UK say this because they're under the false perception that, they're raised in the countryside and it's all idyllic. And, nothing could be further from the truth.
Yes.
A new documentary film called Land of Hope and Glory by the YouTube channel Earthling Ed has recently been released.
And it just exposes the truth of UK farming across the country. These are not isolated incidences.
Standard industry practice.
Yes, and so many of these cases are from, humane, happy farms. Ones that are RSPCA approved, Red Tractor approved, free range. And you really see the truth in this documentary, that it's not the lies that the industry is selling people to make you feel comfortable with your habit of eating animal products.
All right, let's have a look at cognitive dissonance. Sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong, such as, I love animals and I can still eat them. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, like our video, the new evidence cannot be accepted, like Kady couldn't, and her followers. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable called cognitive dissonance. And because it is so important to protect the core belief, I love animals and can still eat them, they will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in with the core belief. So this resulted in Kady blocking us on Twitter.
Yeah. And interestingly, we had a conversation with one of her followers on Twitter as well today, and that resulted in this person blocking us as well. And what came out of that conversation was that this person couldn't even sit through our initial video and hear what we had to say, but she was still arguing and saying the same things over and over, like, you have to respect my choice to eat animals. And you know, it ended with us saying, well, okay, if you respect our personal choice to come over and slit the throat of your dog so we can eat your dog, is that okay? Do you respect that? Of course, she didn't reply and she blocked us. So the truth is just, it's too hard to kind of...
Yeah, it's a pill that everyone seems to want, but no one can seem to swallow.
You can't handle the truth. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please help us share this video with Kady. We can't tweet her because we've been blocked, so it'd be great if you guys could please let her know that we made this, and we hope she watches it and just learns a little bit more about what we're trying to say and get her to connect.
Exactly. Leave your comments down below too, give the video a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Don't forget to ding that bell and check the box so you're notified every time we upload a new video.
And remember, until next time, that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, guys.